10 animals that can come back to life. Number 10. The brine shrimp. When you look at this little guy swimming around in his brine shrimp paradise, it's hard to imagine that he could ever die, let alone come back to life. And yet these little guys have been doing it for millions of years. But how do they pull it off? It's all because of their eggs. Just like any other living thing, the brine shrimp can be killed, but their eggs are tough enough to survive in almost any condition. They can survive freezing, boiling, drying up, or even being blown into outer space. They're even unaffected by radiation. Scientists have found brine shrimp eggs near the bottom of the ocean floor that have been stuck in a dormant state for over 24 million years. There's no telling how long they could have stayed there if scientists hadn't stumbled upon them. These little critters hatched after being frozen for so long, proving just how powerful the briny shrimp really is. Number 9. Turbellaria. This one goes out to all you slime lovers out there. Turbellaria is a type of flatworm that lives in freshwater environments around the world. If you take one look at this worm, it doesn't exactly inspire confidence that it can live forever. But don't be fooled by its simplicity, because the Turbellaria has some tricks up its tiny little sleeves. Although they are very small, scientists have managed to discover that they have the ability to regenerate their bodies from just about anything. If you were to cut a single Turbellaria in half, each half would simply grow into a whole new organism. But what happens if you chop them up into even smaller pieces? Well, believe it or not, this process still works. In fact, there is no limit to how many times you can cut one of these bad boys up. Even if you chop them into pieces so small you can barely see them with the naked eye, each piece will eventually grow into a brand new Turbellaria. Number 8. Immortal jellyfish. Have you ever seen a jellyfish before? You know, one of those things that looks like a giant, translucent blob with trailing tentacles that has no brain or central nervous system? Well, it turns out these strange creatures have a secret weapon against death. See, most animals age as they get older. Their cells begin to deteriorate, causing the body to become weaker and more susceptible to disease. But immortal jellyfish don't have to worry about that because they are biologically immortal. Every time their cells begin to age, they revert back to their original state, essentially turning back the clock on their entire body. Some people call it cheating, but we say it's one heck of an evolutionary superpower. 7. Rotifers. Rotifers are microscopic animals that live in freshwater environments. They are so small, in fact, that it would take about 300 of them lined up side by side to measure just 1 millimeter. So why should you care about these tiny creatures? Well, for starters, they're pretty fascinating to watch under a microscope. You may have actually seen them swimming around in a drop of pond water and not even realized it. But another reason you should care about rotifers is because they are also biologically immortal. Like the immortal jellyfish, their cells have the ability to reverse their aging process. However, unlike the immortal jellyfish, rotifer eggs can also withstand extreme conditions. If they are dried out, frozen, boiled, starved, or even exposed to high levels of radiation, they will still hatch into brand new rotifer babies. Scientists have estimated that only 1 in 1 trillion rotifers will ever die. So if you happen to be a rotifer watching this video, congratulations, you are part of the elite. 1. 6. Lazarus conchs. The Lazarus conchs are a type of sea snail that lives in the Indian Ocean. They are known for their unique shells, which have a distinctive spiral pattern. But what makes them truly remarkable is their ability to come back to life after being dead for weeks. That's right. These snails can literally be brought back from the dead. All they need is a little bit of water and they'll be swimming around like nothing ever happened. So how do they do it? Well, it all has to do with their metabolism. When the Lazarus conch is underwater, its metabolism slows down drastically, entering a state called cryptobiosis. This allows them to survive in extremely harsh conditions, such as low oxygen levels and high temperatures. But it also means that they can go without food and water for extended periods of time. In fact, they can survive completely dried out for up to 6 years. And when they are rehydrated, their metabolism kicks back into gear and they are able to swim away. Number 5. The wolverine. The wolverine is a fierce predator that is found in both Europe and Asia. They are known for their thick, furry coats and their ability to survive in cold climates. But what really makes the wolverine special is its ability to cheat death itself. That's right. The wolverine has been known to resurrect itself after being frozen solid. So how do they do it? Well, when the wolverine is exposed to cold temperatures, its body begins to shut down. Its heart rate slows down, its breathing becomes shallow, and eventually it appears to be dead. However, once it is warmed back up, the wolverine is able to come back to life and continue on as if nothing had happened. Scientists believe that this ability may be due to the wolverine's thick fur coat, which helps to insulate its body and prevent it from freezing completely. Number 4. Tardigrades. Tardigrades, also known as water bears or moss piglets, are microscopic animals that live in water. They are so tiny that they can easily be washed away in a raindrop. But don't let their size fool you. Tardigrades are true survivors. They can withstand extreme conditions that would kill most other animals, such as freezing, boiling, radiation, and even the vacuum of space. What's more, they can also survive without food or water for extended periods of time. In fact, scientists have revived tardigrades that have been in a state of suspended animation for over 100 years. When exposed to extreme conditions, tardigrades enter a state called cryptobiosis. Their metabolism slows down drastically, and they are able to enter a state of suspended animation until conditions improve. During this time, their bodies produce a sort of antifreeze that allows them to survive in sub-zero temperatures. They can also survive in hot springs, acidic pools, and even outer space. Number 3. The Turritopsis dohrnii. The Turritopsis dohrnii, also known as the immortal jellyfish, is a small, translucent creature that lives in the oceans of the world. Unlike most other jellyfish, the Turritopsis dohrnii does not die after a single use. Instead, it can revert back to its polyp stage after reaching sexual maturity. This allows it to essentially start the life cycle over again and live forever. The Turritopsis dohrnii has a very simple body plan consisting of a bell-shaped dome and trailing tentacles. It feeds on plankton and other small marine organisms. But what makes it so special is its ability to reproduce both sexually and asexually. When it reproduces sexually, it releases sperm and eggs into the water in the hope that they will find each other and create a new Turritopsis dohrnii. However, it can also reproduce asexually through a process called budding. This allows it to create clones of itself and essentially live forever. Number 2. The nematode. Nematodes are a type of round worm that lives in soil. They are so tiny that they are often not seen by the human eye. But don't let their size fool you. Nematodes are true survivors. They can withstand extreme conditions such as freezing, boiling, radiation, and even the vacuum of space. In fact, scientists have found nematodes that have been in a state of suspended animation for over 40 years. When exposed to extreme conditions, nematodes enter a state called cryptobiosis. Their metabolism slows down drastically, and they are able to enter a state of suspended animation until conditions improve. During this time, their bodies produce a sort of antifreeze that allows them to survive in sub-zero temperatures. They can also survive in hot springs, acidic pools, and even outer space. Number 1. The frog. Frogs are amphibians that live on every continent on Earth. They are known for their smooth, moist skin and their ability to live both on land and in water. But what really makes frogs special is their ability to come back to life after being dead. Yes, you heard that right. There are several species of frogs that can literally bring themselves back from the dead. So how do they do it? Well, it all has to do with their metabolism. When a frog is exposed to cold temperatures, its body begins to shut down. Its heart rate slows down, its breathing becomes shallow, and eventually it appears to be dead. However, once it is warmed back up, The frog is able to come back to life and continue on as if nothing had happened. Scientists believe that this ability may be due to the frog's cold-blooded nature. Because they cannot regulate their own body temperature, they are able to enter a state of suspended animation when temperatures drop. This allows them to survive in cold climates and even come back to life after being frozen. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button for more videos like these.